就因你。
看来那一天很快就能到来了。
你可要早点突破到斗帝啊！我等的可是真的有点不耐烦了。
The Soul Hall is Xiao Yan's main enemy at the current stage. We have already been shown its strongest experts. The head of the Soul Hall, Hunmi Shang, who is a 5-star saint, as well as the deputy head, who appeared personally at the meeting of Xiao Yan's alliance. His strength is that of a 3-star saint. Now, having formed a powerful alliance, Xiao Yan will begin to act much more aggressively. The first step is to search for the branches of the Soul Hall, similar to the one where Yao Lao was once imprisoned, and to destroy them completely. There are many branches of the Soul Hall in the Central Plains. In total, there are 24 of them, and they are of great importance. Within the Soul Hall, they are called the D Sha Halls. The branch where Yao Lao was imprisoned was one of these D Sha Halls. Above the D Sha Halls are the Tian Gang Halls. These halls are even more important to the Soul Hall. The Tian Gang Halls are divided into the heavenly, earthly, and human divisions. The heavenly hall is the headquarters of the Soul Hall. The earthly hall is governed by the deputy head, a 3-star saint, while the human hall is governed by the 1st and 2nd tianzuns. The 3rd tianzun died at the hands of Xiao Yan. The 2nd tianzun, Gu Yu, is only a high-level half-saint Ban Sheng. There is no need to fear him. With Xiao Yan's current strength, they could indeed destroy him. Xiao Yan coldly smiled. He truly hated the Soul Hall. Many times, he had nearly died after encounters with them. It was time to return a small favor. Therefore, Xiao Yan volunteered to personally take on this matter. Founder Hua Yun and the others would protect the pavilion. Yao Lao, of course, decided to go with Xiao Yan. On his side would also be Zi Yan, a 4-star saint. There are not many experts in the Central Plains capable of dealing with her. Even the head of the Soul Hall himself would not be able to easily defeat Zi Yan. Thus, the group led by Xiao Yan left the pavilion and set off to destroy the human hall. The Burial Mountain Range was located at the intersection between the western and southern regions of the Central Plains. A dark aura mixed with a dense stench of corpses filled the air. Beams of light flashed, revealing several figures. Nearby, there was a faint distortion in space. There is a spatial barrier set up here. They will detect us immediately, Yao Lao explained. Xiao Yan slightly nodded and cast a glance at Zi Yan. She smiled and casually waved her hand. The space around the distortion suddenly trembled and transformed into a spatial dome. This time, there is no need to leave anyone alive. Xiao Yan gave the order decisively. Soul Hall, the time has finally come to settle our grudge. I am not late, am I? At the center stood a massive building. An extremely dark and terrifying aura emanated from it. Black chains hung from the walls, and the atmosphere was incredibly gloomy. Soon, 10 figures appeared before their eyes. Protectors. They were talking among themselves about a mission to collect souls. They had attacked several cities belonging to the Heavenly Court Alliance and, as a result, received a great reward from the 1st tianzun. The space around them suddenly froze. They slammed into it violently, but before they could even scream in pain, the power of space crushed them and sent them into oblivion. Xiao Yan's group stepped onto the ground. How dare you barge into the territory of the Soul Hall? You are all courting death. Numerous figures rushed toward Xiao Yan's group from all directions. Xiao Yan smiled as the enemies charged at him. This bunch has suddenly grown bold. He waved his hand and unleashed a sea of flames. All the protectors instantly vanished. The weakest among them, those at the ancestor level, did not even have time to let out pitiful screams before dying. The sea of flames dispersed. Only then did they realize that they were not facing suicidal fools, but a well-prepared group. Bastard, how dare you act so arrogantly on the territory of the Soul Hall? You must be tired of living. Tianzuns, seize them. Old Monster Gu Yu ordered. More than 10 figures shot out from the building and rose into the air. Each of them was at the level of a Douluo, and they stared fixedly at Xiao Yan's group. Haha, you dare to send mere Douluos to the front? Gu Yu, you would do better to come out personally. Xiao Yan laughed loudly. Xiao Yan stepped forward and pointed at the group of Soul Hall elders. He clenched his palm, compressing the space at that point. With the closing of his hand, more than a dozen elders were turned into bloody fragments. Even their souls were torn apart. With Xiao Yan's strength as a 2-star saint, experts at the Douluo level could not offer any real resistance. At that moment, Xiao Yan noticed something unexpected. Heart of the ocean flame? Xiao Yan exclaimed inwardly. Among the captured experts, he noticed one person. Azure flames burned on the surface of his body, and at a single glance, Xiao Yan recognized the origin of the flame. Old Mugu. Xiao Yan waved his hand, and an invisible force seized that person and pulled him over. Xiao Yan was surprised, while the old man on the other side was so shocked that he could not recover. Ever since he had failed during the attempt to seize the 3,000 star flame, he had been sent to the human hall. He had been collecting souls outside the central plains. Although he occasionally heard of Xiao Yan's increased strength, he had never verified the rumors. But upon meeting him again, he finally understood that this so-called increase in strength was far more terrifying. A saint? You actually broke through to the saint level? Old Mugu asked in a trembling voice. In just a few years, the junior who once had to flee desperately from him had become this powerful. Haha, so many years have passed since our last meeting, yet I have always had one regret. The sea heart flame is also a heavenly flame. Leaving such a natural resource with you is simply a waste. Since I have met you again, hand it over. Xiao Yan laughed. He placed his hand on old Mugu's head, releasing a wild, devouring force from his palm. He intended to forcibly expel the essence of the heavenly flame from the old man's body. At that moment, a fierce roar sounded. Just as Xiao Yan was about to rip out the heavenly flame by force, a black silhouette rushed forward, and a massive chain shot toward Xiao Yan in attack. Gu Yu had intervened. But what could a mere half-saint Ban Shang do against Xiao Yan, a 2-star saint? Gu Yu, you think too highly of yourself. Xiao Yan shook his head, snapped his fingers, and Gu Yu was sent flying backward, smashing into a wall. In the next instant, Xiao Yan clenched his palm and pulled the essence of the azure flame out of old Mugu's body. At that moment, his aura weakened drastically, as if he had suffered a heavy blow. The heavenly flame ranked 15th, which originally belonged to Han Feng and later to old Mugu, finally found a worthy master, Xiao Yan. Old Mugu's eyes turned bloodshot as the heart of the ocean flame was extracted from his body. His body began to swell as he attempted to self-destruct. Xiao Yan simply waved his hand. A terrifying gust of wind slammed violently into old Mugu, tearing his body into bloody atoms. The Douluo of the Soul Hall, who had caused Xiao Yan so much trouble in the past, did not even get the chance to self-destruct. Xiao Yan looked at the flame essence in his palm, then opened his mouth and swallowed it. With his current strength, absorbing the sea heart flame would not greatly increase his cultivation, but it was extremely useful for enhancing the power of the Buddha's Fury Flame Lotus. After all, the more types of flames within the lotus, the stronger it becomes. And the heart of the ocean flame, ranked 15th, was far from a bad option. Although the life transformation flame was also powerful, by nature it was still only a pseudo-heavenly flame. Only with the help of the heart of the ocean flame would Xiao Yan be able to unleash the true power of the 5-colored flame lotus of destruction. When Xiao Yan successfully absorbed the flame essence, Saint Gu Yu had already appeared in the air. My apologies, but I plan to turn this place into a sea of blood, Xiao Yan smiled. Zi Yan had already sealed all possible spatial fluctuations that could escape from this place. Even if the enemies possessed spatial jade to summon experts from the Hun clan, they would not be able to use it. Xiao Yan immediately sensed that half-Saint Ban Shenggu Yu was not alone. The first tianzun stopped hiding. How arrogant. Do you really think you can act this way just because you broke through to the saint level? The Hun clan can easily kill you. This was the very first tianzun of the Soul Hall, the one Xiao Yan had been expecting to meet. Let's be honest, Gu Yu at the Bansheng level is no match for Xiao Yan, but the first tianzun, at the level of a 2-star saint, at least gives some hint of a real battle. And that is exactly what we are waiting for. The first tianzun spoke with excessive confidence. Since you came here on your own, I will take your life. It is still unknown who will take whose life. Xiao Yan laughed. It was this first tianzun who had intervened and saved Gu Yu last time. Back then, Xiao Yan could not fight him, but now things were different. First Tianzun, mid-level 2-star saint. That is why he was slightly stronger even compared to Xiao Yan at his current cultivation level. An interesting battle awaits us. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments what you think about the Heart of the Ocean Flame that Xiao Yan obtained. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and goodbye everyone.